Hey, want to learn how to make this really cute little farmhouse decor? Come on over because that's what I'll be showing you in this video. First step is going to be to take apart all of the frames and remove all the inner stuff, which is this. And the way it comes inside each of the frames, it has a plastic sheet with the paper, and it has the glass, and then it has this wooden, I don't know what it's made of, cardboard, whatever, but this piece as well. We're going to be using only 2 of the pieces of glass, and we're going to put aside all of the other stuff. The next thing you're going to do, which I've already done, is aside from taking out, all everything, the glass and all, you're going to pull out these little pieces that were inside to hold the glass. You're going to take those out of 2 of the frames, leave them in the 3rd frame. So you see I have 2 frames that are completely just down only to the frame, and 1 that has the glass in it. But what I've done is taken 2 pieces of glass. So one of the pieces of glass from here got put to the side, the other piece of glass doubled up on here. So it is a really nice strong base for our basket. We are going to be gluing in these pieces of glass, which will be the first thing we do. We're going to be putting some glue around this bottom edge and gluing in our pieces of glass, and then putting these tabs down to hold everything in place. It's okay if the glue shows from the other side, because it is going to be the bottom of your basket, but if that bothers you, then be careful to only get it in the edges. And you can put some E6000 as well for a more permanent hold, because the hot glue sometimes doesn't stick as well to really slick surfaces like the glass. Should have put the E6000 on before I did the hot glue so that the hot glue doesn't cool down. And we're going to stick my glass pieces right inside there. Got those in. I'm going to push my little tabs down. So that should be nice and stable. Now, the first frame we're going to be keeping upside down like this, and then we're going to be adding some E6000 as well as some hot glue and gluing our frames in a stack. If a little bit of the glue seeps out of the cracks, don't be too concerned. That's going to get covered up later with some rope. Obviously, you're not going to want it a ton of glue seeping out if you can control that. So the next frame, it's up to you, doesn't really matter if it's right side up, upside down. I'm putting mine upside down and gluing it directly on top. Okay, we're going to do the same thing with the 3rd frame. This one you want to have right side up so that you have a nice surface on the top of your quote-unquote basket or box. Here's what we have so far. We're going to be putting stuff inside here. Right now what we want to do is turn this upside down so we have the glass side facing up. This is the bottom of our container. And we're going to use some of our tumbling tower game blocks. I always call them, and a lot of people do call them Jenga, because that's I think what the original ones are. So most of these sets come with dark wood and light wood. Some of them don't, but I'm pretty sure most of them do. If you choose what you want to use, I'm going to be going with the dark ones because later I'm going to be distressing this and I want it to have a little bit of a rustic look. So I'm going to use the dark pieces so that I don't have to worry about adding to that to distress them later on. What we're going to do with these pieces is we're going to be gluing them to make legs for our box here. And we're going to be gluing them, stacking 2 at a time and gluing them on the outer edge of our box. I'm going to use the E6000 and the hot glue for this. And then we're going to glue the, whoa, my glue gooped out. We're going to glue the second one right on top of that. We're going to go around and do that on each of the sides so that we have the legs added on just like that. Once you have all 4 of the legs glued on, just like that, they should be pretty secure because you got the hot glue, but to fully cure with the E6000, they're going to obviously need a little more time. While we're waiting on those to dry, what we're going to be doing, I'm using one of the pieces of plastic that I told you, one of the sheets that comes in this frame, and I'm just going to use that to put my paint on. And we're going to be painting our frames and the legs. I'm using the white to paint all of this, but we're going to be going over this also with a little bit of the brown paint just to give it maybe a little more of a rustic and a wood looking finish. So we're going to put this aside to dry for a few minutes. Should dry pretty quick because the paint's not on there really very thick. And then we're going to be painting our glass jars in the same way. And you can paint them as thoroughly or not as you'd like. I'm gonna probably go back in also and hit this with the, my little sanding block. So I want the spaces to be full of paint down the depressed parts so that the raised part later, when I hit it with the sandpaper, is going to actually show what the wording and stuff is. The box part is painted, our little milk bottles are painted, and the next thing we're going to do is take a little bit of our brown paint and kind of give this a little bit of a little more rustic look. Don't need too much of that because we're just trying to barely kind of change it up and break up that whiteness. For this, I'm actually going to be using just a regular old paper towel. And really blot it off of your paper towel because you don't want too much on there. And we're just going to lightly give some sweeps across just to make it look a little more wood-like, a little more rustic. Not so perfect, kind of a little bit patting, a little bit rubbing. Not too much rubbing though, because you don't want to rub off the white paint that you just put on there. This is how the box looks once you go through and put a little bit of the brown paint on it. We're gonna work now. By the time I got that all squared away, I think my milk bottles are pretty much dry. They are. So what I'm gonna go through and do right now is take my sanding block, which I got from Dollar Tree, but you can actually just use sandpaper too if you'd like. And I'm just going to lightly go over, and it's going to take off some of that surface paint. And this is something too, you just kind of go lightly. You can do as much or as little as you want depending on the look that you'd like to achieve for your bottle. Okay, once you get your bottles how you want them to look, we're going to go ahead and put some jute twine around the tops of them, just to kind of also give them a little bit of some finishing touch and a little bit of rustic look as well. I'm just going to take a piece and start wrapping it around. And I'm going to leave some end so they have some to tie it with. So that's about how much I did. I would say it's about, looks like it's about 9 or 10 times wrapped around. And then cut the excess off and tie a little bow. Now, some of you that I don't know that maybe have seen my bow tying video, I'll show you the trick that I showed in that. When you tie a bow, for those of you that don't know, a lot of you probably already do know, so you do your base of it, how you would tie a bow, make your loop, and then you can see that this string here is already on the top side of my loop, depending on how you tie your initial starting. So because it's already on the top, I'm going to come around from the top to make the rest of my bow. This way you don't end up with a sideways bow or an upside down bow or any of that good stuff. Make a few adjustments. Probably could have left my string a little longer, but I didn't, so maybe on the next one I will. And I'm going to cut the excess here so they match on both sides. I'm also going to place just a little dot of hot glue so that my bow doesn't come apart or move. And I'm going to do that just kind of underneath there and put my bow on top of it. So that's what we've got so far. I'm going to do the same thing to this one. Now what we're going to be doing, and it's up to you if you would like to use this jute twine around in the creases, you can use that. Or you can use the larger nautical rope on your basket, depending on the look that you want to go for. I want to go for something a little more dramatic, so I am going to go with the nautical rope for my project. Make sure the end has a little bit of glue in it so that it doesn't come unraveled. So I'm putting glue in the crease. I'm going to be starting mine at the corner and then just going all the way across and pressing it right into that line from where our frames were stuck together. I'm going to go all the way around and do that, and then I'm also going to do it on the other seam line as well. Here's what it looks like when it's all done. I did my 2 layers on there with the nautical twine. And now I'm going to show you the finished project. Stay tuned!